maybe I give a summary in English. Last night, our Prime Minister had a phone conversation with President Trump. Do we need summary in English? Would you like that? What? Okay. Had a phone conversation with President Trump concerning the situation on the border between Thailand and Cambodia. Now, as far as Thai side is concerned, our Prime Minister already spoke to the press last night, right after the phone conversation, so I don't have to go into the details. We are concerned because after the phone conversation, President Trump posted on his Truth Social tweet, and there are certain points that in his tweet that we would like to clarify. But first of all, we very much appreciate the concern on the part of President Trump about the current situation and his desire for peace. I can assure you that Thailand desires peace, but peace also requires the same desire, the same level of desire on the part of Cambodia as well. Now, we're concerned because some of the points in his tweet doesn't, in our view, doesn't reflect an accurate understanding of the situation, and some of the points are inconsistent with the facts. Perhaps President Trump, the source of information, had deliberately distorted the facts. Now, number one, President Trump, in his phone conversation with the Prime Minister, and also in his tweet, described the landmine incidents, 7 of them so far, I remind you, as roadside bombings or accident. Now, these incidents are definitely not accidents. They're the result of new mines planted by the Cambodian side. It's not just one incident, it's 7 incidents. And Thai soldiers have been severely wounded. They've lost their limbs, part of their limbs. And we pointed this out, in our phone conversation yesterday with President Trump. I myself had an earlier conversation with Secretary of State Rubio. I also pointed this out. And I think we're still, and this is not related to landmine, but this morning we had another attack on civilian target using the infamous BM-21 multiple rocket launchers. And 4 Thais were injured, 2 very severely. And I think President Trump said that our responsive, more or less, was excessive. Our retaliation, was excessive. I don't think our retaliation was excessive. I think it was proportionate to the military operation by the Cambodian side, and it was within the bounds of what we consider to be for defensive purposes. Now, we regret and we're disappointed that some of the points made by President Trump has bearing upon the feeling of the Thai people, Thailand, because we consider ourselves, we are proud, in fact, and to be the oldest treaty ally of the United States in the region. We are above that, a non-NATO ally as well. And, we stood together throughout the past for common causes of peace and stability in the region. And our troops have, stood side by side, fought shoulder to shoulder with American troops. And so we're disappointed because even to this day, our two countries continue to share what I consider to be common security interest and concern that is at the bedrock of our relationship. Another point is that Prime Minister Hun Manet, in his own tweet, he has called for the use of satellite to establish the facts, to verify the facts, who started the clashes. We don't have any problem with that. But if we're going to use satellites, technology to establish the facts regarding the clashes, let's also use the same technology to establish the fact regarding the laying of new landmines. Because Thailand believes in, being as transparent as possible. Another point that I wanted to make is that, the threats that we face right now at the border also comes from another source. That is all these scam operations along the border. And people have been subject to human trafficking. We have victims not only in the region, but throughout the world. And for this reason, Thailand is organizing, as you know, a minister level, high-level meeting on partnership in combating cybercrimes, especially online scams. We also want to note with much appreciation that during the conversation, President Trump has said that with regard to the trade talks on tariffs, he said that they should continue at the working level because it's been our position all along that trade should be trade. It means that these talks are about issues of trade, issues of mutual benefits to both sides, and should not be linked to the current situation with regard to Thailand, the border between Thailand and Cambodia. Another concern that we have is currently there are about 6,000 to 7,000 Thais gathering at the border at Poipet. They want to come back to Thailand. They come back and we hope that the Cambodian side would consider this on the basis of humanitarian principles. We've been talking with the Cambodian side directly and indirectly, and we had hoped that we got clearance for the border to be open today between 1 and 4 p.m. But unfortunately, the Cambodian side has decided to postpone the opening of the border without giving us any clear reasons. And then there's a post by Hun Sen that, and here, that all travel of Cambodians and Thai across the border will be put to a stop, suspended. And we consider this a violation of human rights law, a violation of international humanitarian law, and all the international obligations that both countries have committed themselves to, especially international humanitarian law. So this is what I have to inform you this afternoon. Any question?
Earlier today, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim said that he has requested the deployment of the AOT to the border areas and then to present their findings at the ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting on the 16th. What is Thailand's response to this proposal and any expectations going into the discussions?
Well, first of all, we have always cooperated with the AOT, the ASEAN Observer Team, especially with regard to the incident involving Thai soldiers stepping on landmines, right? And so anything concerning fact-finding, whether by the AOT or whether by way of satellite technology that Prime Minister Hun Manet has said, we don't have any problem with that. And also, the special ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting, Thailand was among the first to say that we are ready to attend and ready to, to explain our position and from our view what happened.
Minister, Marwan Mahkamah Communication, if you recall in July after the first round of clashes and Trump intervened, there was a meeting in KL where besides the representatives of Thailand and Cambodia and Anwar, there was a US and a Chinese presence. Of course, the Chinese subsequently reached out to the two countries to establish their own form of diplomacy. Now it seems like the Americans have taken the lead on this front. My question is, where do the Chinese stand on this? Have they reached out to you to see if they can restore some kind of peace following the recent clashes, and what's different to their approach from Washington's approach? Thanks.
Well, the Chinese have, in my understanding, the Chinese have expressed concern, hope that that there would be a peaceful solution. It's the position that has always been taken by the Chinese, But if you ask whether they propose any initiative, they haven't yet, But friends who want to reach out, who wants to help, we don't have any problem. But even with the best of intention from friends, this is something that Thailand and Cambodia have to work out between the two countries. Of course, with the support of friends, yes, but we need to be able to discuss and work things out. And sometimes even ceasefire, I spoke to Secretary Rubio yesterday. I said that if we're going to have a ceasefire, even though right now the Cambodian side is not ready for a ceasefire, but if we are going to have a ceasefire, then our two militaries must meet to discuss the terms of the ceasefire. So the terms should not be imposed by, from policy level or by politicians. The military, they have to be comfortable with the ceasefire. ครับ สวัสดีครับ